Page 10, Rhapsody in Blue, or just a few melodies from that. First, I look it over, I see it's 3 pages long. Now there's repeat signs, but there's 3 pages of music to deal with. The clef signs to start with, at least, are treble and bass. There's 2 flats in the key signature to start with, and that can change too, but I'm really interested to start. And so it's either B flat major or G minor. If you look at the end on the bottom of page 12, we're ending on B flat major chord here. Figure 1 B flat major. However, for scales and arpeggios, I still recommend you do it by key signature. So do the B flat major and the G minor, scale and arpeggio both. At 4/4 time signature, at least to start, and again, that can change too, but at the beginning, it's 4/4. Now, I'm going to take it one hand at a time, make sure I know what each hand is doing first. At the beginning, this is just a chromatic scale. You're starting here. It's just all we're doing is 1 and 2 and 3. And if this rhythm bothers you, and I hope it doesn't when you get to this level, you should be able to do this rhythm. But if it does bother you, take out that tie and play all those notes. They're just eighth notes. That's all it is. Then you tie it rather than play it twice. Then come up. And then again, they're all eighth note or chromatic scales. And then measure 4, that chord, what's an A? Just spell out the chord if you don't know what it is. A, B, E flat, F. And I suggest you go ahead and finger that 1, 2, 3, because you just came off of here. And if you finger that last note with a thumb or a little finger, then you reach down for the chord. Makes it a little easier. And then going on the third, you just play 1. This and 4. I like to do a 3. You can do a 4 if you want. And I do a 1, 2, 3 because the melody's top note. So I do a 1, 2, 3. This is measure 5 here. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 4, and then a 1, 2, 3 again. And measure 7. Hold the whole notes down. 2 voices. 1 and 2. So it's here, here, here. And then I do a 4 here. I can connect that here. And do it again. Okay. Measure 12. Hold the E flat down. It's here. And then thumb again. And then more of the E. Measure 15, look at it, it's a G flat. Measures what, 19 and 20, or 21. You have this, 19 is this, and 21 is that. Well, in the actual piece, these are triplets, and I think it's better as triplets myself. So I would just turn that first 3 notes into a triplet. 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Just play all 4 of those notes evenly if you can. So that line, measure 18. 1 and 1. And then measure 22, the same stuff you've had. Now watch out on measure 26. These are eighth notes, not quarter notes. So in measure 22, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It's that same speed. But eighth notes, 1 and 2 and see, it's twice as fast. 1. So those speed up, except at the end you get a big time ritardato. Molto means a lot. We'll do that later. Now on measure 31, on these eighth notes, I don't like using the same finger on them, so you decide what finger you want, but I'm going to do at the beginning of the measure 31, 1 and 2 on, 3, 2, 1, 2, I'm going to use different fingers on the repeated notes. You can do whatever you want. The different fingers on repeated notes is trickier to learn up front. It's harder. But once you get it, it's so much easier than using the same finger all the time. It really is. You stay relaxed with different fingers. Measure 36. here, and the triplets. 2 and a 3, 3 and a 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3. Just make sure all those notes are even. Yeah, here. Look. Yeah. Watch the rhythm carefully on those. Last measure that has an 8 VA above it, so instead of here, it's up here. And that last note, by the way, is a quarter note. Don't hold on to it. Left hand, well, is starting with chromatic down here. And don't use the thumb at the end of measure 1 because you got to come up here. So I want some other finger. Little finger's good. This way you're closer to where you want to be. Same thing here. Then with a little finger if you can. So measure 3, you're closer up here. Then on measure 3, and with a thumb there, and then you just reach down 5-2 here. And then you're coming down here. Measure 24. We have these this and here. It has an 8 VA under it for measure 25. They're tremolos. Just rock back and forth here. Do it rhythmically. Don't just bleh. You'll have to decide on how fast you're going to go. You do eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. You can do 16th notes, 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a. I recommend you accent this to help when you're practicing and help keep it even. 1 and 2 and. And here. You don't have to tremolo real fast, but it needs to be even and controlled. Now on measure 31 here, you have this chord and then this chord. If you do a 3 on the first one, you're in position, you're closer. So I'm doing a 3 on all these E flats. So once I have an idea what the hands are doing separately, then I'll go back and try and put them together, and I'll hesitate. That's okay. I'm just trying to figure out how the fingers are working. We have the chromatics. We're starting here. Try a little finger there if you can. So we're here. Here, and then here, thumb here. Here, and then here. So I can go from measure 3 to 4 without really moving around. I'm just stretched. And then we're here. Get the idea. I'll put the hands together. Then once I sort of have an idea that hands working together, then I'll go back over it just a few measures at a time, and I'll work out the hesitations. Keep it slow, but no hesitations. Once I have the hesitations gone, then I'll think about the articulation. We're connected at the beginning. Here. And this is very connected. Pedal to help, but try and do it with your fingers right now. You get accents over at the measure 26 here. So bring those out. And then that last measure at the page, they're all accented. You can separate them slightly if you want. It's part of interpreting accented notes. Some do, some don't. If you separate the notes slightly, it just helps to bring out the accent. Not real short, just separated. And then when you get to measure 29, you connect 1 and 2. That's staccato. And then 3 and 4. That's what we want. And the left hand does that continually, starting with measure 31. That feel, and the right hand's just playing, trying to keep up. Understand that, like in measure 33, when you're doing this, the right hand is not staccato. Now, once I have an idea of the articulation, then I'll think about the dynamics. At the beginning, it's both hands. There's no melody here. You have a swell. Go up to loud and back down. Same thing here. And again. Now we're soft and sweet. We want to hear the right hand. The left hand is very soft. We want to hear the whole note starting measure 7, 8, 9. That's what we want to hear. You're still soft in here. You get a crescendo and then you go up to moderately loud for measure 14. So you follow the dynamics. And then I'll think about the speed. Now this has different speeds depending on where you're at. At the beginning, it's kind of it's like a cadenza. It's just kind of a free thing, but try and keep it rhythmically. Here. And now it's moderately slow. We'll do the expression later. You do get a ritardando at measure 20 here. And you get louder in there because you're leading into measure 22, which is loud in the right hand, and it's moderata, which is a little faster than you were on measure 5 here. By the way, is repeated. So you play that twice. And then measure 26, it's the same speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, but the other eighth notes. 1 and 2 and. Slow down at the end. And that's the surah, the double lines there at the bottom of page 11. It means a pause, a complete break. This is where the beat stops. It's one of those situations, because normally a beat goes on and on and on, and as the surah, it stops. It's just a pause. Total silence, just for a moment, not too long, just for a moment. In this case, it gives you time to turn the page. And then you continue on. And measure 29 with spirit, well, just doesn't have to be fast, just spirit. It's not real fast, is it? Well, maybe it seems fast to you. Slow it down then, yeah. And then that part is repeated. You got first and second endings, yeah. And then at the end, it's very grand. This is like here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't drag it. It's just grand. It's like, oh, here we are. Huh? The last line, they say slow down a lot, molto rit here. I wouldn't slow down at all in measure 39. Now in measure 49, you start to slow down. See, these eighth notes are slowing down and they kind of meld into the quarter notes. They spread out enough, they become quarter notes. Yeah, because I don't slow the quarter notes down. Once you've slowed down in measure 40, kind of maintain that speed throughout. You don't need to slow down anymore. Now the pedaling they're showing in the book is pretty good. It's for the most part. We're not pedaling these chromatic things. We don't smear them, but we want to connect the measures together. So we're having the pedal help us with that here at the beginning. Pedal that, push the note down first, then the pedal, and then let it connect the notes. This, we have the overtones. We're going to listen to that. And then we're pedaling all this, and you can pedal it like it's shown. It's okay. But don't pedal measure 7. You can pedal the end of measure 7. We want to connect the left hand. Here, we got to connect that. See, we're using the pedal there on measure 7, 8, 9 to connect the left hand. Here, here, and here. So we pedal just long enough to connect it, and that's it. Now, on measure 26, they got here, excited here and you want to pedal it, that's fine. But you don't really need to pedal that line at all. You'd get fine. The end, of course, but if you want to pedal it like it's shown, don't pedal anything else, that's okay too. On measure 29, we're pedaling with the articulation. Come up on the staccato. We want like so, you're pedaling with that. And then at the end, the last two lines, you're pedaling most all of that because it's all grand and glorious. However, I don't like smearing the melody because here at the measure 36, like that. So I usually don't pedal that part. It's just, and then on these eighth notes, I don't pedal these because I just don't like a smeared melody. And I measure 40. Don't like that. So maybe every beat or so, or every eighth notes, I don't care, it's whatever. I just like to keep a clean melody. It's a personal thing. You can pedal it like it's shown here or however your teacher tells you to. I forgot on the pedal on measures 18, 19, 20, 21 here on the pedal. You can do this, but I don't like a smeared here. I think this should be clean. So I probably won't pedal this. Now you can pedal the left hand to connect it, but then I don't pedal this either. But I can pedal to connect the left hand, and then I go on. I just don't like that smeary. If I pedal it, I just don't like that smeariness. I like it clean. So that's how I do it. It's interpretation. You choose how you interpret it, or your teacher will let you know how to interpret it. Yeah.